Say, man, for those select few that are already initiated, you should already know what's coming next. And for those of you that aren't, just chill. See, we gonna get to the other stuff in a minute, but what I'm always trying to get everybody to understand is everything is vibration. So with that in mind, what we gonna do first is just vibe. See, you fooling with the right one this time, man. I don't know what you think you clicked on, but I'm the coolest one in the cosmos. If somebody told you about me, I promise I'll come as advertised. Just chill. It's gonna come to a point, not the very distant future at all, that you're gonna realize it's that time for you to just open up your will and let me crawl into your mind one time. Yes, sir. Where you wanna go? Neptune? You better be able to swim. Cause if you can't, I promise you're gonna be bound to drizzle out. And as I said before, don't worry about me. I got gifts, baby. What it was, man. Y'all tuned in with Priceless Knowledge Yourself. And if you didn't know who it was, I'm him. I'm also that. And y'all tuned in with Priceless Knowledge. I said it already, huh? Say, man, this right here ain't nothing but some cosmic insight. Look, y'all. Hey, I hope everybody feeling good, man. I hope everybody's able to smile and maybe have a little bit of fun, because really that's what this is all about. Especially when that music gets up in you. Because this right here, this is a little something about those people that have Neptune in the 5th house of their natal chart. Yeah. And being a Pisces moon in the 5th house, or having Pisces ruling my 5th house, having Pisces on the 5th house cusp, I'm familiar with this to the fullest. But before we actually go there, what we're going to do first is I'm going to give y'all a little bit about the meaning of Neptune. I'm going to tell y'all a little bit about the energy that comes along with it and how it might affect you. Then after that, I'm going to give y'all a little bit about what the 5th house of the astrological chart is actually all about. Then after that, we're going to bring it to a climax, which is actually what I do best. Yeah, and it's my favorite, mi favorito. But I'm gonna stop playing. I'm gonna stop lying because I'm probably not gonna stop playing, y'all. Okay, but we're gonna get right down to it. So Neptune. Neptune is named after the Roman god of the sea, and it's the modern ruler of the sign Pisces in the 12th house of the astrological chart. But I need y'all to understand this. If you ask any traditional astrologer, they are going to say that Jupiter, not Neptune, rules Pisces in the 12th house. But in this case, man, you know, in this day and age, Neptune and Jupiter both rule it. And Neptune's influence is actually a lot stronger. Pardon me. And whether you know it or not, Neptune is actually the higher octave of Venus. And that's because it's all about compassionate acceptance and unconditional love of all that is, man. And along with Uranus and Pluto, Neptune is what I like to call a transpersonal planet. And that's because it really takes us into realms that are, you know, well beyond rational and logical understanding. Okay. And in this case, Neptune connects us with the divine. It's the planet of inspiration. It's the planet of dreams. It's the planet of illusions and fantasies. And it intensifies our sensitivity and our intuition, but it also kind of clouds our perception of reality, you know, whatever that is. And, you know, it deepens our compassion too, if we allow it to be honest. And it relates to photography. It relates to film, dance, music, painting, poetry. And it also rules over drugs. You know, both those that have the power to heal us and those that have the power to, you know, alter our sense of reality, whatever that is. And, you know, Neptune takes about 165 years to traverse the whole zodiac. So I always tell y'all, man, if y'all have somebody that you know that's done hit that Neptune return, please point them in my direction because I want to know their secret. Okay. But all BS to the side, man, with that in mind, man, that means that it takes about 14 years that it spends in each sign. And so it's definitely one of those generational planets. For instance, I was born in the Neptune and Capricorn generation, but it's in the 3rd house. And when we're talking about the houses, that's where it gets much more personal. And around here, we like to get personal. And so when we're talking about the house placement, man, what that shows is that, you know, what area of life that we might be idealistic or where we might have artistic tendencies, as well as where we might be delusional and want to escape reality. And, you know, the aspects, they show what other areas of life are affected by our dreams and where we might be divinely gifted, as well as where we might not just be seeing things as clearly as we should. And to be honest, this one is as vast as the deep blue sea, and I could go on and on and on, but I'm not going to. So when we're talking about the 5th house, so the 5th house, you know, with the 4th being all about your roots, the 5th is kind of where you burst onto the scene in your full motherfucking glory, man. And it's ruled by Leo, and the sun and it's ruled by the sun also, and it represents the natural blooming of our character. Okay. And that means in its most concentrated form. And in the 5th, the great test really involves the ability to act out one's innermost nature in terms of purity of motive. Okay. This is the house of creativity. This is the house of drama, fun, and children. Okay. And it's about outward positive release of one's energies. And it's here, you know, it's here that you do your best shit. And whatever sign it's on the cusp and the planets in this house kind of show where your power lies creatively and even where you might and how you might portray yourself in the stage of life. Okay. This is how you should get your shine on, to be honest. And the 5th is about your passion and what stirs it. And it really speaks to how we express joy for life in an outward way. And if a maleficent like Saturn is there, it shows how your enthusiasm might be repressed. And here's the realm of the eternal child. And it speaks to how we have the most fun. And, you know, let me also tell you that the 5th is about casual sexual experiences. Okay. The 7th is about marriage and that partnership, that one. But the 5th is about dating and those type of things, okay? So that's a little news you can use. And so when we're putting Neptune in the 5th house, you know, all bullshit aside, I say that this one is another one that's really just a delightful placement if you don't get caught up in all the smoke and mirrors. Because, you know, those born with Neptune here are really genuinely instilled with this just generous creative flair and profound artistic talent, for real. And what we're seeing here is the planet of illusion and magic really just casting an intriguing mist and an invigorating mist over the home of the sun, where our creative mind, comes out to play with whatever the universe has really provided us with. So that's awesome with that, man. And I ain't gonna lie, man. People with Neptune here also have a real habit of falling in love real fast, and they themselves are typically known to be quite enigmatic and seductive, to be honest. But we'll get to that in a minute, man. I'll talk about that in a minute, because that's interesting right there. But let me first tell you that when it comes to music, when it comes to poetry, when it comes to visual arts, and especially acting, man, there are very few that have a flair like these folks right here, man. And with the fifth being about kids, man, a child born to such a person, is probably very sensitive and intuitive with boatloads of creative talent too, okay? What this says to me is that they probably have a child that might have been, have a strong Pisces placements, in one of their first child, or one of their children has strong Pisces placements. And if not, they're just a very artistically and creatively talented kid who's very compassionate and sensitive and intuitive, to be honest. And another way that I've seen this play out, to be honest, I keep saying to be honest, another way that I've seen this play out, pardon me, okay, because I'm going to stop saying the bullshit, is that, with the procreation of children with them, it might have happened under mysterious circumstances with this one. And a lot of the times, these folks just don't remember how it happened. They just don't remember how it happened. And that's pretty interesting, man. And, if there are harmonious aspects between Mercury and Neptune, let me say that this is a person that can make you feel music in their poetry, which is amazing. That's another amazing thing of this one. And I once saw someone write that Neptune in the fifth, she falls through the night like liquid obsidian, and a creative essence is stirred from the bewitched dream state here. And when the inner child laughs, heaven appears on earth, and it's a reunion with eternity. I don't know who said that, but I thought that was beautiful, man. And that's probably some of the most profoundly true shit that there is about a placement too. Yeah. And just bear with me. Move on. Let me move on though. You can't forget that the fifth is about casual dating and casual sexual experience. And when it comes to Neptune here, man, courtship is like transcendent, and the way that they date is damn near religious, because a majestic holiness really permeates their love. And once they get there, let me tell you, man, the sexual act is really just this interlude of liberation from this worldly bullshit that always is going on, that really just transcends even fantasy all the way into divinity. Understand? And externally, these are the type that really just get down in a smooth dance of empathy with their partner. And, just be careful. Be careful, because, this is Neptune. And so regardless of how good it may be to you, you know what I'm saying? There's something that somebody isn't seeing clearly here, man. There really isn't in this equation. Never forget that's Neptune. I always just want to throw it in there. I want to get you going and then throw that in there, okay? This is Neptune, man. There's something that ain't going on, that somebody ain't seeing clearly in the equation. And what it is, who knows? But the thing to remember most with this one, man, and just keep it in mind, because the fifth is so much about enjoying yourself and, having those type of experiences and those mystical experiences. The thing to remember with this one is something that I was told by somebody a long time ago. And it's that everything that's good to you isn't necessarily good for you. Free game. And one thing about it is a lot of these folks, man, they need a lot of attention. They need affection. So that fear of rejection, it becomes a real nightmare here. It really does. Where a lot of them will project this image of sexuality, you know, a lot of them, they have this image of sexuality where they're just going from this place to place, drifting and drifting because, you know, that fear of rejection, and they're just fooling with a lot of people, even a lot of people that they necessarily might not fool with. Or on the other end of that, you have a lot of them who project this image of asexuality where they're actually just boiling beneath the surface. Okay. It's interesting, man. And sometimes a person here could really become a trickster in love affairs, really applying different styles and personalities and images and characters of themselves to guard against any chance of rejection, you know. And that too, you know, puts them in a lot of sexual situations, okay? And they have a lot of casual flings because they know how to be who you need them to be in any situation. They know how to play that game. And it's almost fun to them to play that role. Matter of fact, it is fun to them. It is fun to them, to be honest. And like I said, this is a lot similar to having Pisces on the 5th house cusp, which I have too, by the way. And either way you look at it, man, look, love, intimacy, and romance, you know, they cause a lot of mystical experiences for these people because, you know, to love for them is to apply tenderness, not just, you know, directly about the sex or the physical part of it, man, but more for affection and connection with something that is well beyond the shores of finite experience and, you know, physical pleasure for them. And they can give you that. They can give you that. Another thing is, man, you know, and I'm going to tell you to be careful about this, is with Neptune connecting, you know, casual sexual affairs with the house of children, a lot of males with this placement probably have kids that they don't know about or that they found out way later on down the line. And a lot of women who have this placement may have, you know, lost a baby or possibly had an abortion that they don't speak on. And there's a lot of ways and places that this could play out. And either way that you look at it, though, man, 5th house Neptune really fosters a lot of secrets and a lot of confusion concerning these folks' casual romantic affairs. And, you know, that need for affection that, you know, sometimes goes to the point where they end up being victims of a lot of bullshit because they be fooling themselves about the people that they fooling with. And that's real. And until they develop some boundaries, you know, it's going to be a whole bunch of problems. But y'all don't hear me, though. Y'all do not hear me, though. And lastly, let me say that as with all 5th house stuff, the ability to have fun and what fuels it is extremely important in this case. And in this case, it's music. It's music. It's dancing. It's movies. And, you know, and lots of kisses and fantasy. But I'm going to tell you, even if it don't play out like that, just because you built like that, you don't have to build like that. You don't have to feed into any of these placements you have in your chart because we all have all of this energy available to us in different ways, whether you know it or not. What you do with it is what you do with it. And even beyond that, it's not about what you do. It's about how you do it. And that's some priceless knowledge in itself. And there's been some priceless knowledge of self. Hey, man, if y'all fool me on any level at all, you know, like, share, and subscribe. And if you're watching this, you didn't hit the dislike button, you should be hitting the like button. You should be sharing this mug. You should be telling your friends about it, man. Let's get these subscriptions up. You feel me? Let's do that. What's it hurting you? That's all I'm saying. Hey, if you're interested in any astrological reasons whatsoever, you can either hit me up in the comments below or you can email me at Mr.Turner 1300@gmail.com. And that goes if you're interested in any merch too. But you can't get it like that. Okay? And you can get all the merch you want. You probably won't never be this fly, I'll be honest with you. So that might mess up my marketing strategy, but I got to keep it what? Trio. I'll holler at y'all.